Hi everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm channeling the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine's energy for this weekend check-in. I came into an abundance of downloads through meditation that I want to share with you all first before jumping in with some cards. So I want to talk to the Divine Feminine first and foremost. So we're kind of being asked right now to go deep into some self-care, some self-nourishment, and to really prioritize caring for yourself first and foremost. I feel this is really going to allow the enhancement of the quality of the care that you bring forward for your own mission. So, if we are to get grounded in that heart-centered compassion when it comes to this energy, caring for the collective, bringing forward all of this selflessness, we kind of do have to be a little bit selfish with our energies right now. So it is not ego-driven to care for yourself first. It is not caring for yourself at the expense of others. But if we can't get grounded in our own personal power, Divine Feminine, and care for ourselves first, we're not going to be able to help others fill their own cup at this point in time. So I feel the feminine really has withdrawn and gone within and is really going into that self-care. And if you have not done that, I think you really need to keep that in your focus this weekend. I feel as the feminine kind of goes into this aligned energy of self-care, self-nurturance, it really is bringing forward a lot of envy from the Divine Masculine. And I feel many of the Divine Masculines have been experiencing a lot of misfortunes recently, and this is to really highlight their selfishness that really has been manifested through this very envious karmic energy. So I feel a lot is happening in the mind space with the masculine. A lot of these masculines have gone into self-preservation mode when it comes to this very heavy karmic misfortune surrounding them. And I feel the feminine is kind of being asked this weekend to really focus on maintaining and enhancing your own personal quality of life. And we do this through our own personal power of caring for ourselves. So I feel there's a lot of tremendous potential in the energies this weekend when it comes to opening up this gateway, exemplifying these energies. A lot of the feminines hold within them the unconditional love code of like this Mother Teresa energy or like Mary Magdalene energy. And as we kind of step into fulfilling our cosmic role, our cosmic mission on this journey through this power of self-nourishment and self-nurturance, that's when we can really get grounded in our personal power with compassion and care for humanity and the collective. So there's a lot of polarities coming up in the energies. And I feel as the feminine really cares for herself first, it is creating this cosmic reordering energy around the masculine's resources. So when we fully commit to ourselves, Divine Feminine, that is what creates the shift in the masculine's life. And I feel a lot of the masculines have wasted a lot of their precious resources, and the energy is asking them to connect and care for themselves in order to approach their life differently when it comes to the tribal levels and needs of humanity and the collective. So a lot of these masculines have lacked instinct, have lacked high moral values and goals, and a lot of these masculines do not know how to set those healthy boundaries. So I kind of feel a lot of the masculines have played into these very negative impulses, and they've lacked that self-care. So we need to have those very healthy boundaries in place, Divine Feminine. A lot of these masculines have really ended up sacrificing themselves and their own well-being, playing into this karmic entity attachment. So I feel this preponderance energy coming through all of these challenges as the masculine is in this transitionary stage when it comes to all of these cosmic powerful influences coming forward. So a lot of the masculines are learning the value of this struggle when it comes to all of these unexpected upheavals and challenges, and we're kind of in this preparation stage of, you know, manifesting these unions. So we really have to learn how to apply our energy in detail when it comes to our own intuition and our own gifts. And when we apply our highest potential, that is when the masculine goes into all of these negative, aesthetic, materialistic energies. And, you know, they're coming to terms with the fact that they really have no real application in their life. So a lot of detailed energies are coming up when it comes to measure for measure. So I've been shown the Justice card over and over again, actually in this deck here. I don't know if I can find it quickly, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do feel this really is the gateway where we step into self-empowerment. So right now, as the masculine plays into all of these struggles, all of this stubbornness, it is bringing up the divine masculine's deepest, darkest fears. You know, he's afraid of dying. He doesn't even know what, you know, is making his life worth living at this point in time. He has no meaning in his life. And this very stubborn energy that has been focused on materialism has created all of this disorder and conflict in the masculine's life. So I do feel the masculine is being asked to listen intently to the spiritual awareness that is coming forward in order for him to best intuit how to take a risk in order to feel alive again. So many masculines have been facing all kinds of struggles in order for them to find their purpose with this existence. So I do feel a lot of them have been completely and energetically drained financially, emotionally, and physically by the karmic attachment. And the energy really is alerting the masculine to all of this danger. And they're kind of being forced to stop playing games with this mission when it comes to life and death and when it comes to taking that risk forward with the divine feminine. So I feel the masculine really is being asked to confront all of those fears at this time in order to, you know, have the energy to redirect himself. A lot of these masculines play into this very self-absorbed nature. And the universe and the guides and the ancestors, I feel, have been prodding the masculine to get to really know themselves and how they interact with others. So it is within the masculine's own awareness that he can determine where he should keep investing his energy, because he's really made some poor investments. And I feel it's this reassessment of his overall health and safety at this time and trying to figure out what the heck is worth fighting for. So the ancestors really are enabling the masculine's ability to reassess all of these experiences at this time. And it is this pressurized energy of fight, flight, or freeze as the masculine experiences all of these struggles through his needless resistance of facing the divine feminine. So I do feel like this complete and total mental, physical, emotional exhaustion coming through the divine masculine's energy. And he's looked to all of these people to fill this void and likely finding the divine feminine at every turn. But I also feel many of the masculines don't even know how to find you right now. A lot of the feminines have completely detached. And this is bringing forward a new discovery with all of these life struggles that the masculine is facing. So I feel this fueling energy when it comes to the masculine's needs and this gateway of wanting and desiring the divine feminine at this time. And I was shown like the four directions, the angels of the four directions. So I think a lot of revolutionary energy is coming up when it comes to the masculine taking action, taking a different approach as these unions are beginning to manifest in the physical reality. So a lot of receptivity when it comes to how the masculine can approach and maintain his vigilance and dedication towards his cosmic mission. So I feel as the feminine kind of just naturally eases with the ebb and the flow of all of these energies, a lot of the feminines have maintained this communion to God source throughout this process. And we've channeled all of these extreme heightened sensitive energies with ease, and we've done this through radical acceptance. And I feel a lot of moodiness and carelessness surrounding the masculine that is going to be his detriment when it comes to all of this hampered oversensitivity coming through. So it is the energy of accepting this death, this transformation, as all of these energies are kind of synthesizing this weekend. A lot of oversensitivity as the masculine links the root chakra to the solar plexus. So I feel a lot of guilt, shame is coming up to be released when it comes to stepping into this tribal mission, supporting this collective mission. And the energy is fueling the masculine to have access to all of these higher cosmic frequencies. So a lot of the masculines, I feel, have been struggling with their basic resources, with food and shelter, in order to get them to reconnect with their spiritual source. So a lot of this has been set up in that karmic bondage in order for the masculine to find his place when it comes to his spiritual purpose. So I don't know how struggling it is around the masculine, but I do feel they're struggling to put food on the table. They're struggling to figure out what their unique contribution is to the spiritual community. They're struggling with their health. They're struggling with all of this inequality within the false tribal unit that they've been connected with. And all of these false structures are breaking down rapidly. And it's like nothing is working out for the masculine at this time, in order to alert him that it's time to withdraw from that karmic family structure and to really step into the purity of this connection and honoring this global great awakening mission. So a lot is coming through in the energies into the masculine's awareness of what resources are needed for everyone's survival. And I feel in order for the masculine to thrive, he's going to have to enter into that communal energy with the spiritual realms. And I feel the energy really is creating like this bargaining energy. Like the masculine is trying to bargain with the universe when it comes to all of these negative principles and all of these negative possessions and controlling tendencies. And you know, the masculine, I feel, is not feeling very fulfilled when it comes to his needs, his wants, and his desires, facing all of these negative consequences. And we're kind of reaching this turning point as all of this pressure is kind of pushing the masculine to go inward, to experience all of this oversensitive energy in order to release these addictions. A lot of these masculines are addicted to being needed. And, you know, a lot of these karmics play the damsel in distress. And that was very appealing for the masculine. A lot of these masculines needed several women to chase after them, to feed that ego. And I think it's gotten to the point where nobody's feeding the masculine's ego anymore. And they're kind of feeling like nobody really cares about them. They're really at rock bottom, wondering if they're ever going to get their needs met. So it's this retreating energy. I'm being shown 33, which is the sisterhood of the rose energy for me. So as we've recently come into all of this revelation of these Akashic secrets with that Virgo full moon, I think many of the feminines are being asked to actively withdraw as the masculine goes through this transformation. I think they're in a very weak position at this time. And this is where they're going to have to find their own personal strength, because the feminine's not feeding them the energy anymore in order to gain the wisdom that they need to attain through this negative experience. And I do feel like this voice of remembrance coming through in the mind space. And it's like the masculine is being haunted by the feminine, haunted by the universe, to surrender to this transformation. So it is recognizing and surrendering to all of these superior universal forces coming through as an opportunity for the masculine to expand his inner strength and to eventually triumph over all of this negative karmic consequences that are coming up to be addressed. So The masculine is learning to embrace these powerful forces coming through in order to get back into a place of order and structure when it comes to laying these solid foundations for future successes. So the masculine did not want to reason. The masculine has been very calculated with his moves, and it's kind of time to surrender the lower ego in order to deepen his personal relationship with self and with the divine feminine. So, you know, the masculine at one point had a very high position when the feminine first went through this awakening process and hit rock bottom. We fed all of our energy to the masculine until the point we were completely depleted. And now that we've withdrawn and we've kind of taken back our power and we're standing in our power, the masculine no longer has our energy to fuel that karmic contract. So, you know, that original position when the masculine was up on that high horse, it was all fine and dandy, but I feel they've kind of come off the high horse, like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and, you know, Humpty Dumpty just kind of had a big fall. And I feel there is a lot of public humiliation surrounding the masculine. A lot of negative impressions, creating all kinds of self-delusions when it comes to the masculine making things right. So a lot of powerful cosmic universal forces are bringing all of this energy to the surface. I do feel public humiliation. The karmic is likely slandering the divine masculine's name all over social media. This is why I was called to go into private energy and detach from social media for the time being. And I do feel there's a lot of resentment coming up to be dealt with. Resentment from the masculine, resentment from the karmic, as the feminine kind of steps into her power. So I think all of this is being brought into physical form as we prepare for these union energies. And I kind of feel this is marking the end of this very toxic karmic cycle that has repeated throughout many lifetimes. And all of this built up energy is bringing forward a major ending. And as we close out this very painful karmic cycle, we kind of need that moment of silence in order to take a step back. And I feel that's where the masculine at is taking a moment of silence before taking action in order to consider every aspect of this karmic experience. And this is kind of where we're at. We're all being called to kind of be alone right now in our own personal energy without any outside sources interacting and convoluting our intuition. So I feel the masculine is retreating for this rising energy. So it's like the masculine's deep in this moment of fear, uncertainty, as this completed karmic experience comes to an end before stepping into this new, vibrant, unconditional loving experience with the divine feminine. So it's this pause energy, this reposing energy of reflection before taking forward action with renewed strength. So it really is in these quiet moments of contemplation that we learn the most valuable lessons, and it is within the depths of this collective memory that is coming to the surface that we understand our need for privacy as we join the collective voice of I remember is what kept coming through. I remember. So the masculine is being asked to share this lesson, this experience, and to reveal this truth to the divine feminine, no matter how painful this experience was. The masculine, I feel, is being called to process and own his part in this when it comes to processing all of this shame, guilt. And I do feel the time is ripe this weekend as the masculine is being asked to share that knowledge with the divine feminine and to become a part of the greater spiritual community as part of this evolution of humanity's consciousness. So it's like the return of the prodigal son type energy is what I channeled in this maturation energy of this lifetime and all of the realms of our past influences and expanding and moving beyond all of those cycles of experiences. So I think the masculine doesn't have a sense of right timing right now when it comes to sharing, as I do feel he's going through a period of disassociation. Disassociation is what came through. Learning to let go. So I feel the feminine is being asked to concentrate on her own personal revitalization at this time, and to kind of just recluse, to go and retreat, and to enjoy some privacy at this time. And I feel as the masculine is, embracing the fall, he is being asked to shed the larger framework of his ego. And I do feel he is also retreating in the energy as he's leaving behind that very nagging karmic energy that has created all kinds of doubts and really has hampered this revitalization process. So the masculine really has had that inability to completely let go of this karmic attachment. And I feel as we're getting ready to come out of this cosmic womb, the masculine is really being asked to, weigh his heart. And I was taken to the Egyptian goddess Maat, and she represents harmony, justice, and truth. It's a woman, and she's usually depicted with wings on each of her arms and with ostrich feathers coming out of her head. So, the meaning of Maat basically is, the concepts of truth, the concepts of balance, order, harmony, law, mortality, and justice. So we're kind of here to personify these concepts and to regulate these concepts through the stars, the seasons, and the actions that we take. And, connecting with these higher deities in order to bring structure to all of the chaos when it comes to creation. So a lot of ideological energies are coming up when it comes to these injustices, when it comes to this chaos, this violence, and this egoic evil doing of the divine masculine. And I feel it is this weighing of the heart. Living in alignment, we do have to release all of this intolerance, all of this fanaticism when it comes to our beloved connections. And I feel the masculine is being asked to weigh his heart, like on the Justice card. And now I'm actually going to look for it, because this is kind of the energy when we cross over, there it is. When we cross over and we enter, back into our energy form, and it's the Justice energy. So if you look closely, on the one scale, we have a heart, and on the other scale, we have a feather. And that is what Maat, that's the concept representing Maat. And it is spelled M-A-A-T. So it is like the hall of two truths. And when we leave this physical incarnation, our hearts have to get weighed. And is your heart as light as a feather? Because if your heart is not as light as a feather, then you have retained all kinds of negative emotional baggage. So I feel a lot is being released from the heart center in order for the masculine to become lighter and equal in weight to the feather of Maat. And I do feel many of the feminines have balanced their heart to be as light as a feather, and this has created all kinds of decrease in the masculine's life as the feminine steps into her virtuous mission. So I feel the masculine is really being seen for who he really is, all of this displaced ego energy. And the masculine is having to face this unworthiness. I feel the masculine is being devoured and condemned in the energies when it comes to his heart. So it's the weighing of the heart. And I do feel this burden has weighed on the masculine's heart for a very long time. And the cosmic energies are overseeing this weighing energy at this time. And in order to balance the scales of justice, the divine masculine's heart has to stand upright and has to kind of stand beside the divine feminine. So I feel the masculine is being asked to uphold his cosmic mission, to uphold strong values and family traditions with the divine feminine. And the masculine will keep facing all of these decreasing energies when it comes to this burden on the heart. So it's kind of time for the masculine to come forward with that confession is kind of what I'm feeling. So I also want to talk about a few cards that I was asked to share with you. I look at that on the bottom of the deck now, the world, and that's kind of where we're at, rounding out completion, releasing the struggle. So this is kind of where the masculine's at. He's deep in this tug of war, and tug of war is a game. You know, when it comes to that interference with these unions, he's at war with himself. Definitely, as all of these secrets kind of get revealed that he's kind of not wanted to look at. And I do feel there's that series of misfortunate events. I do feel that karmic contract is over, but there's still the gripping to control in that contract as kind of the masculine is asked to open up the Akashic scrolls and weigh his heart. So, you know, I was sitting at my desk this morning and I pulled out the Quantum Oracle deck, and 3 cards fell out right away. Kindred partnership, creative endeavor, and family. And on the bottom of the deck, we got this back and forth. So this is where the masculine has been at for such a long time. The back and forth, the teeter-tottering, wanting his cake and eating it too. And now all of this heavy emotion is coming to the surface. A storm is definitely a brewing when it comes to these kindred partnerships. So a lot of us are supposed to step into mission together and to step into this creative endeavor. This is a family structure coming up to be addressed, the blending of families, this kindred partnership. So I do feel this is coming back around full force to be dealt with, and the masculine's kind of in the middle. With the intention being a 5 card. 5s are all about struggles, challenges, changes, and that's where the masculine's at, struggling. With the 6 of Swords reversed, that's like technically the 5 of Swords. Struggle, struggle, struggle. As all of this Akashic truth is kind of downloaded and revealed about these kindred partnerships. So I also feel, you know, the masculine has been shown who his true chosen family is, but we're going to read into the kindred partnership energy because I feel the feminine really has kind of stepped in to her own creative endeavor, and that's what's creating this major shift. So I feel there's a lot of dark thoughts coming up when it comes to the masculine's consciousness of lack, when it comes to these family structures. I feel a lot of the masculines have, you know, had their children kind of removed from their situation. And I do feel this potential union is awaiting the twins. I also feel the feminine has called in an upcoming partnership, a new romantic love, whether it will be the divine masculine that steps up or a high vibration match. This is going to happen very quickly. There's definitely a new relationship coming forward for the feminine of some kind. Someone where you will be able to deepen a connection and to share this heart-centered truth with. But I kind of feel the feminine is manifesting a deep level commitment. We've done the work. We're grounded in the present moment, and we've manifested brand new love appearing in our life. So this could also manifest, like I said, as that work partnership. We are here to work together. And I feel this energy is about to take form as the feminine is in that high resonance of those high vibrations. So a lot is expanding in the feminine's life. And on the reverse scale, the masculine is going through some kind of separation. And I think something that's been a part of his life for quite some time has been slowly drifting away. And I feel, you know, severing those ties. So the masculine is experiencing a total breakdown, a total breakup, a separation from that false family structure. Dealing with quite likely even some negative legal disputes. And I do think a lot of emotions coming up for the masculines, and he's going to need to take that time to reconnect to himself in the heart space when it comes to all of these negative experiences and redetermining his future. So whether the masculine chose to separate from the karmic energy or the karmic separated from him, either way, the masculine can't seem to come out of that dark night of the soul energy. I think they're deep within this grieving process. They're venting all of these negative emotions of loss, anger, hurt, and pain. And they're finding a way to release these expressions in order to kind of step into empowerment. So as the masculine kind of releases all of these negative energies, this is when they can start to reclaim their own power and peace of mind. And I do feel the divine feminine's heart is wide open when it comes to bringing a new loving connection your way, because we deserve love and we deserve to be loved. So a lot going on in the energies. Let's dig in with some cards, guys, and see what else needs to come through. Your spiritual path is definitely being illuminated. And there's that catalyst. So definitely a major redirection for the masculine. A lot of challenges because they've not listened to the guidance from their angels and their angelic team. There's been a block to their guides and their angels that have been guiding them along this journey. So I feel a lot of illumination when it comes to the masculine spiritual path. Major karmic lessons are coming up to be addressed, obstructions, roadblocks, all kinds of negative challenges. And these challenges are necessary in order for the masculine to dissolve that ego. And all these roadblocks that he needs to overcome, he needs to understand why they're there in order for him to seek that alternative solution. So major catalytic event recently because they've been ignoring the calling. And it's kind of time for the masculine to reconnect with his spiritual self. Huge karmic lesson being learned, very painful lessons. And this is stemming around many lifetimes of past experiences, past life experiences, a lot of karma, painful karma to work through, lessons to work through. And the masculine, I feel, has rejected that entire social circle. So the masculine is being asked to seek out his true tribe for his soul's growth, because these people have depleted the masculine. They've kept him stagnant for long enough. And as the feminine kind of steps into her soul's purpose, this really is creating a major shift. So a lot of the feminines have come into this greater understanding of their purpose this lifetime. They've really embraced deepening this relationship to self, their psychic abilities, developing the psychic abilities, the opening to receiving. And I kind of feel a lot of the feminines are, you know, peeling back layers of themselves still too. A lot of the feminines, I feel, are, you know, seeking some more spiritual coursework when it comes to their mission. A lot of us have received downloads about what the next step is when it comes to our own expansion. And I feel there's kind of where I'm at. And if you're resonating with my energy readings, you're likely on the same timeline as me. So a lot of the feminines have gone through this purification, this purging, this cleansing. I'm releasing all kinds of things. And the one thing I was asked to release without hesitation was social media. The only access to social media I have right now is my YouTube channel. So I'm working on developing a web page. I'm working on my book. I've got a lot of big things coming up. I'm working on getting certified for past life regression, some Reiki healing, and also to be a crystal child practitioner. So I have a lot on my plate right now. And in order to detach from all of those distractions, I was asked to remove social media. So I feel the masculine is kind of being forced to follow suit. And the feminine, I feel, is really coming into what's going to motivate her when it comes to this art of self-love and joy. Really rediscovering another layer of your psychic abilities is what I'm feeling as we kind of really open up to receive these energies. So I feel a lot of the feminists have mastered quieting the mind and staying in the present moment. And this has, you know, triggered this upheaval and this soul awakening within your counterpart's life. So a lot is happening around this expanded consciousness for the masculine, around his soul's identity and a deeper understanding of this soul connection that he shares with the divine feminine, understanding just how significant the divine feminine is in his life, and preparing to journey towards you, because I do feel the masculine is recognizing the need for self-development, where he's neglected nurturing himself. I do feel a lot of these masculines are struggling with health issues. A lot of these masculines are alcoholics or addicts of some sort. And, you know, they've been playing into that temptation, and the energy is getting very intense because we have to address these negative relationship circumstances once and for all, because the feminine is screaming out loud and clear in the divine masculine's heart and mind. And he can no longer ignore that clarion call. So I do think get ready to receive a message this weekend as we prepare to enter into Aries season. Aries is cardinal leadership energy, masculine energy, taking the lead of your life. And I feel you are encouraged to just listen to what your counterpart has to say without reservation and without judgment. I'm not saying you got to take them back. Many of us have moved beyond that, but we do kind of have to close the book on the past. So get ready for a major pivot point in the energies this weekend is kind of what I'm feeling. So yes, disconnect and relax. If you have children, really focus on the children. Spend time with the children. And I do think major blessings are coming your way, Divine Feminine. And we just have St. Patty's Day. So I think the masculine is secretly planning to come forward for that fresh start. Maybe even planning to take you on a vacation of some sort. Secretly planning to ask for some forgiveness. They know that you've been waiting for them. I think they're secretly planning to move. They're deep in the regret of this ending. They're going through a major ending, and I think they're withholding communication, maybe as a form of protection from that very dark karmic attachment that is very vengeful, vindictive, and resentful towards you, because the masculine is coming forward is what I'm feeling. There's a lot of clarity. As we purge that burden on the heart through tears, which is a form of purification, the clarity comes. So I feel a lot of clarity as the masculine releases that substance abuse, which kept them under that veil of illusion. And I do think they're making plans to balance this situation. Maybe by the next holiday, by your birthday, definitely something to do around the next holiday, Easter, by Easter, or by your, I know my birthday's coming up, but they've got clarity. They've been dreaming about you, dreaming about spending their life with you. They do see you as a life partner, and they're kind of sitting in this regret, remorse, guilt, and shame, going through a major clearing, a major ending, moving, definitely moving, secretly planning to come forward for that fresh start, likely by Easter. I think of Easter when I think of this card too, and spring is when everything blooms. So you might be going on vacation. They know they need to come forward and correct their past actions. They know you've been waiting for them. But I also think you're done waiting. I think a lot of the feminines are really on the right path. And this is the moment in time where the masculine embraces this change and goes through this very dark karmic release is kind of what I'm feeling. So faithfulness, dedication, a lot of the masculines are being extremely tested by a lot of negative external influences at this time when it comes to their lack of loyalty with this mission. So a lot of these masculines have been asked to be that father figure, that provider, and that protector for the divine feminine and these family structures. And they're definitely deep in the void, facing their criminal activity, especially from past life abuses. So the masculines are digging deep to understand why they've chosen to fill a void rather than come and face you and look you in the eye. They're definitely facing the consequences of their negative choices. They're being very limited when it comes to their resources. And they're, you know, playing into this victimizing energy. A lot of these masculines did victimize the divine feminine, left her at rock bottom, and had no regard to look back for any emotional consequences from that ending. And I feel all of this really has come full circle at this point in time. And as the feminine comes into that alignment, the masculine goes through all of this upheaval. I just noticed another card. I'm going to have to flip that and see what it is. Healing your heart. So major heart healing energies, major release in the heart space. The masculine, you know, has been like a servant to this karmic energy, faithfully taking care of the karmic, spending all of their money on them, and I think they've really lost a lot of possessions recently in order to push them towards traveling towards you. So a lot of activations. There's that humility that I talked about. Yeah, they're ostracized, they're outcast, they're completely humiliated. They're definitely completely humiliated and ostracized, in order for them to release this arrogance, in order for them to accept that they've created this in their life, and to go through this release and to learn this lesson in order to travel towards you. So feel a lot of cultured energy coming up as the masculine prepares to venture towards you where he's only dreamed of going before. Releasing that servant energy with the karmic. And, you know, the masculine will step into blessings and abundance and wealth the second he releases all of this envious energy and, you know, taps into these galactic origins and this beautiful human experience with the divine feminine. As soon as the masculine steps into his purpose for humanity, that is when all of this wealth will be restored. So I feel a lot of the masculines are going deep within a mother wound right now, and that's what the feminine holds for them, is that mothering love. So definitely releasing this very heavy karmic burden that we have carried for many, many lifetimes, and it's time to acknowledge and release this karmic contract, this life. This is the lifetime that we heal this. So the masculine, I think, is questioning why. The masculine broke his trust in the universe. He broke his trust in the divine feminine. And the universe knows exactly what it's doing in order to rebalance these scales. So a lot of the masculines are dealing with like a karmic witch, spell casting person. They've cast all kinds of negative spells and created all of these misunderstandings. A lot of these karmics, you know, ran the feminine's name through the mud, gossip, drama, lies. And, you know, the masculine is looking at the feminine as this beautiful angelic presence. And he knows he needs this comforting, healing energy as he breaks free from this enslaved karmic contract that was only based out of obligation. So freedom from obligation. And I do feel the masculine is at the mercy of the karmic right now for all of his past choices and actions before stepping into freedom, because we're stepping into these teaching roles, sharing the knowledge, fulfilling our missions. So let's see what needs to come through. Justice. There's that justice energy again. And the masculine is definitely struggling in the mind space when it comes to rebalancing the situation, when it comes to coming forward and bring forward that confession. I think they're not sleeping at night. They're having nightmares. They're struggling in the mind space for sure. And with both Venus and Mars and Aquarius, this is all being done telepathically is what I'm feeling. So the masculine is definitely facing some harsh karma when it comes to going towards the false contract, which I do believe is over. It's over. Releasing those addictions. The 6 and the 3 equals the 9, which is, you know, overindulgence, especially in reverse. You know, they put in the work in something very toxic, very false, and oh, this one stayed. And they stayed in this state of illusion. And now they're having to kind of face the consequences of their actions is what I'm feeling. So double confirmation that that karmic contract is over. Double confirmation. And there's that ego. Strength reverse, the hangman reverse. Well, they're getting a wake-up call. They're getting a very hefty wake-up call. We have the Queen of Swords upright with the Hierophant reversed and the 5 of Cups. So that's where they're at. Deep in the grieving process. I think they know the feminine is in her power. That's the feminine's energy. I feel the Queen of Swords. She's standing in the light of truth. She's got her boundaries in place. And the masculine is grieving this missed opportunity. Definitely gaining a shift in perspective, a new outlook. And I do feel they're losing faith. They're definitely losing faith. And I do think the wait is over. You know, that's where the masculine's at that rock bottom, healing the brokenness of not going towards this partnership. So a lot of internal shifts. The masculine's definitely going within. That Virgo full moon has put the masculine in the mind space, in this bubble, in the mind space when it comes to this ego death, their abuse of power, their egocentric energies. Definitely secrets have been revealed, major revelations when it comes to these addictive behaviors. When it comes to the veil of illusion, that was not his wish fulfillment. And you know, deciding to make that conscious change, Pisces energy, Virgo, when it comes to this missed opportunity, they've not wanted to look at this pain. They've not wanted to come forward and try again. And there's a lot of truth when it comes to, you know, the blocked communication. The Six of Wands in reversed, I hate to say it, but it's a loser. The masculine, I feel, is losing everything for his abusive powers, and the veil of illusion is coming off. The blinders are off. The rose-colored glasses are off. And there's going to have to be a cosmic rebalancing when it comes to the masculine giving to more than one. Definitely going into that core wound from childhood when it comes to this missed opportunity. And I feel like a huge, huge outpouring of emotions. I do feel the masculine will be quickly coming towards you. Let's dig into the Divine Feminine's energy real quick. And I'm going to use the Light Seers deck, Seven of Swords, Confessions, over this missed opportunity, this foolish behavior of inconsistency with the masculine. I think you're just patiently waiting. You know there's going to be that conversation. You know the masculine is coming forward to do that hard work. So I think that's where you're just sitting at in quiet solitude. I think with the Devil reversed, you've released any negative attachments. I think the feminine has achieved that perfect alignment and that purification at this time. And yeah, you know, you've walked away from everything that wasn't serving you, Divine Feminine. And that's going to create this brand new beginning. So I think the masculine is received a light bulb aha moment. I also think the feminine's received, you know, some clarity about some spiritual studies, some new ideas, some new creative ideas when it comes to working together within the community. And I'm hearing green light go. And there's the masculine. You know, I think the feminine has really released the want, the need, and the desire to have the masculine back. I think the feminine has created her own happiness, walking away from everything toxic in her life, and then it's creating all of these struggles with the third-party drama in the masculine's life is what I'm feeling. So big shifts with that Virgo full moon. And I feel, you know, if there is any underlying grief left, Divine Feminine, it's time to release that. It's really time to release the burdens of the past. And I think that's what the feminine also did. You might have spiraled through another layer of purging when it comes to all of the betrayal the masculine has put you through. Huge release, this Virgo full moon, and that soul retrieval. So I think this is kind of where the feminines are at. They are in their power. They're grounded. They're in this creative energy at this time. And I don't even think, actually, I don't even think the feminines care if they get an apology at this point in time. I really do feel the feminine has made peace with the betrayal, but that ultimately is going to bring in that offer, that love offer, that stable love offer. So let's get a couple romance angels cards. I see my peanut looks a little bit tired. Yeah? We'll see what else needs to come through. Passion. So I feel the masculine is getting ready to make the effort, and the guides do want you to know this really was worth waiting for. Divine timing is definitely at play, and, you know, you have been calling in a high vibration soulmate, Divine Feminine. Whether your counterpart returns or the universe brings you a soulmate that you will be working well with. And I think maybe a lot of the feminines will be presented with that choice. I do think new love is on the horizon, Divine Feminine, and the signs have been cautioning you, so pay attention. I do think many of the masculines are going to want to come forward and maybe take you away on a holiday or a vacation. And they're trying to stay optimistic. They're definitely learning a lot when it comes to forgiving the past all of these past experiences that the twins have gone through throughout the many timelines and the many lifetimes. Yes, this is your true soulmate, and I do feel a wedding around the corner. A lot of us will quickly be coming into solid committed partnerships by this Lion's Gate. So that's what I got for the weekend check-in. I hope this helped y'all out. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.